In other news, the US president has apparently agreed to stop supplying weapons to Kurdish fighters who are currently battling Islamic State in Syria. Turkey's foreign minister says that Trump made the pledge in a phone call to his country's leader.
Mr. Trump clearly stated that he had given clear instructions not to provide the YPG with arms and that this nonsense should have ended long ago.
But the White House was actually less forthcoming about the conversation. It did confirm that the call took place but didn't mention the Kurds. It simply said that Donald Trump informed President Erdogan about upcoming adjustments to the military support being provided to America's partners on the ground in Syria. However, whether those adjustments will affect Washington's support for the Kurds wasn't made explicit. The US has been sending various types of weapons to Kurdish forces and supporting their military operations with airstrikes too. But it's been a major sticking point between America and Turkey, which considers some Kurdish forces to be terrorists. Well, Rick Sterling from the Syria Solidarity Movement thinks that Washington is trying to play both sides.
The only thing consistent here between Washington and Ankara is inconsistency. Washington, of course, has played a dual role here. So we're going to have to see how it plays out. The betrayal of the Kurds is going to, this overtly is going to leave a big stain on Washington. And of course, Erdogan is basically he's shown himself to be very adept at opportunistically advancing his interests however he can. It's not just by the way, it's not a war against the PKK in southern Turkey. It's a war against the Kurdish communities and really a war against the whole progressive community within Turkey.
Now, Egypt is hunting for the militants behind what officials there call the deadliest ever terror attack in the country. At least 305 people were killed on Friday at a mosque in the North Sinai region, and more than 100 others were injured. So far, no group has claimed responsibility for the attack. The authorities say between 25 and 30 masked gunmen took part in the assault. Egyptian warplanes have been conducting retaliatory airstrikes on terrorist positions and vehicles. Well, apart from the scale and ruthlessness of the atrocity, many were also shocked by the choice of target, as attacks on mosques are rare in Egypt. It is the country's Coptic Christians as well as security forces who do often bear the brunt of such actions. The mosque at the centre of the attack was the birthplace of an important Sufi cleric. It is frequented by the followers of Sufism, which is the inner mystical dimension of Islam. It's considered heretical by some Muslims, and an affiliate of Islamic State has murdered a number of Sufis in the area this year.